Wait.
Are we live?
Yep, we're totally live.
All right.
I wasn't gonna stop it.
No, you're good.
Welcome, guys, to Out of the Draft podcast. Here's everybody. I'm Dylan. We don't have Stat Boy with us, unfortunately, but he may join later on. And you can introduce yourselves.
I'm Nick.
Mitchell, as always.
Always good to see you guys.
Always. Well, how was y'all's week? It was fun. It's been a week.
It's been a week so far. It's not over for some of you guys, though.
Something like that, for real.
Oh,
Sorry, I'm trying to send this link out to Twitter on my stream. So sorry about that. We can go ahead and start talking about Eric McClure. Mitch,
Yeah.
I think you knew a lot more about it. So you
Yeah.
can go ahead and start.
Sadly, last Sunday, there was a passing of Eric McClure. Primarily known for driving in the Xfinity Series. He did dabble a little bit in the Cup Series. I believe he did like 2 races in trucks, but I personally still don't know. I don't know if they released a statement on how he passed, but I know he was in his mid-40s pass. He did 288 Xfinity races. Sadly, he only came home with 1 top 10, but he was always in underfunded equipment. He was always in the hunt, especially at the super speedways. He was always a good super speedway racer. But it was very saddening to hear him pass. Obviously we don't want to hear anyone pass, but
Right.
Especially in the NASCAR world, it's a sad day for us. So rest in peace to him, and thoughts and prayers to him and his family.
For sure.
yeah, it's not something you expect, especially with nowadays. Like, we think of these drivers as invincible.
Right. And although he didn't die racing, but still.
Well, like, he's old school type of racer. So, like, even though he was in, like, the new generation, he owned his own vehicles and he drove for himself. So, like,
yeah.
So that's what we should appreciate. Obviously, he didn't get like the performance or
the results
that we expect, but he definitely showed exactly where we came from as a sport. And hopefully, moving forward, we still will see those things, building up, moving forward as well.
Yep.
Especially with the new gen, which we'll get to that.
We'll get into.
Well, so we're gonna keep going with the sad stuff. With the tire caution, in Kansas. We'll just keep it a negative point of view on this one. We can talk about the race for a little bit. Stage 1 finish was amazing. Great racing. I didn't think we were going to see that because what we saw in November with Harvick couldn't pass Logano for 3 laps, but we see in spring how it was really easy to pass for the lead as long as you had a better car. So realistically, Who knows if Harvick really had a better car than Logano? At
the end of the race that last year, it could have changed. As simple as an adjustment. Obviously,
it was a lot more cloudy last year's race than it was this year.
It was.
That there could have very well what played into it.
But that usually helps. Like the darker, night races.
Normally, yes.
Yeah. So I don't know if it was just the air, the temperature, or legit Logano's adjustment really did help him stay in the lead.
Honestly, I don't think I think that Harvick I think they were probably equal. It just came down to dirty air last year. This year, drivers seemed to they were excelling. Like, we saw passing all day.
It was all day. Sorry.
Yeah, all day. And then, sorry. Yeah, no, we're good.
Oh man, that makes me. Sorry, that made me think of a show.
No, you go.
Shoot, I can't even think now. Kyle Busch ended with stage 1. We go into stage 2. Kind of was green flag most of stage 2. Honestly, this year has been like that. So stage 1's pretty exciting. Stage 2 really just mellows out and let the race go by. And honestly, that's old school racing. What we're used to is at the beginning of the race, excitement, and then green flag racing, and then Kyle Larson wins stage 2. I mean, he's won how many stages this year? It's ridiculous.
4.
Yeah.
4 or 5.
Yeah, it's
4.
Is it really 4?
It's 4.
Okay.
Yeah, it's 4.
Our stat boys.
I know. I couldn't remember. I knew it was
I just remember he won the stage and they said it, and of course all 4 came on mile and a half this year.
Yeah, I think he has the best mile and a half average
Program right now.
like
right now,
by speed, but Willie B has the best finishes.
Yep.
So that's really fun to see.
So we'll come back to this. I have an interesting theory on this, and we can talk about that after.
Cool. And then stage 3, it was pretty green flag. It was really good racing. Starting stage 3, and then in the middle of pit cycle,
green flag stops.
We had a tire leave Tyler Reddick's pit crew. And it was in.
Did you see how that happened too?
Yeah,
bounced off the wall.
You do that a million times, and that never happens.
Yeah, it was just.
But at the same time, we do see it happen.
Yeah,
a decent amount as well.
But I'm saying most time it's a tire getting left.
Yeah, it rolls out of the.
It rolled behind them.
Yeah. Right.
You don't see it bounces off the wall.
Yeah.
Right.
And leave.
Well, you can see that the guy that was supposed to grab it. So I don't this is not for real what happened, but what I think I saw was the 2 tires hit each other and it bounced, and so it
did look like
I saw that too.
Oh, it was hard for the second guy to grab that second tire. That's why I've never been a big fan of one carrier carrying 2 tires back. I think that just makes mistakes. You have 2 carriers for a reason, but
right.
That's
I'm honestly surprised that these drivers these pickers don't try to figure out a way where your jackman, he's not carrying. He's carrying a jack.
Yeah.
Your 2 guys changing the tires, why can't they have a harness on them that when they are changing, they change the lugs, they put it on, they change it. It's attached to the gun. They drop the gun. They can grab that tire.
Yeah. I don't know why teams haven't thought of a certain way to do it. Obviously, NASCAR has their own rules when it comes to what type of things you can use outside of the box or in the box.
Well, the guns are also issued by NASCAR. So
right.
Which I think is
that could be why.
I think. Yeah. I personally think if you buy a $3,000 gun versus a $15,000 gun just to get the torque that you want, that it just doesn't create anything great. In my opinion, I think it just who's going to have the best pit stops. Who's going to come out first.
Right.
And that's just dumb. I think it should come down to the athletes on the pit road, not the equipment.
Absolutely.
So I was cool with that, and I'm also good with when we get to the next gen of what specs are too. But what else? Oh yeah, the tire got 2 inches off the pit road, or 2 feet, I should say. It was probably 2 feet. But it was way far away from the racing surface.
This is the largest in-grass racing surface we have. It's bigger than Daytona. It's bigger than.
Sorry.
You good?
Oh yeah, I just had a little.
Can I continue?
Yeah. Sorry.
This is the largest. This is the largest green that we have in NASCAR.
Yep.
All the other tracks, it's a lot shorter. It's turf and things like that. If a car spins out, if he hits that, he stayed in the throttle the entire time, and he aimed for it.
If he hit it, he needs to go and play the lottery because he's probably going to win.
Yeah.
So,
realistically, I think it should have been a caution. Obviously, I still think it was a safety hazard. But NASCAR decided to wait, which they've done this before at Atlanta. I remember. Well, Jeff was one of those people that was in that race, so he understood the role, right? You wait till after green flag cycle is over, you call the caution, so no one technically gets screwed, quote unquote. It doesn't mess up the racing product, right?
However, in my opinion, I think it does mess it up because a tire comes off a car. Take for instance, Kurt Busch 2004 when the chase started.
Yeah.
He went on the pit road. His tire went out on the track. Instant caution.
Well.
So that
I know they're 2 different situations.
Yeah.
But I'm saying the tire left the vehicle.
Yeah.
Right.
Go ahead, Mitch.
I think it absolutely should have been called immediately. Like you said, I do understand why they didn't. They wanted to let the pit cycle run through, yada yada. But the part that has me I guess, a bitter taste in my mouth about the situation is they called it for a safety hazard. But it doesn't make sense because they waited, 15, 20 laps to call it for a safety hazard?
25 laps.
25 laps. That's insane to call it a safety hazard at that point. It was no doubt they were manufacturing. They had a reason to manufacture it, and they went with it.
As soon as they realized Chris Buescher wasn't pitting.
They should have called it. Absolutely.
That's it. He played it right.
Yeah,
that's how this is how it goes.
So, because realistically, Chris Buescher had the right strategy. So he pitted on that last caution. So his fault. It wasn't his fault that he was staying out there, right?
Right, absolutely. He's running his fuel out.
So I don't know why NASCAR was like, that's an issue. Obviously, I understand if it was like, so back before stage racing, I understand that rule because everyone run the fuel all the way out. But with stage racing, there's strategies in each different stage, right? You don't go to the end of the fuel run. You go, you can split it in three, split it in half, whatever the right strategy is, that's what we do.
Right.
We don't just do it by tires or fuel, okay? That racing and that style is over. I'm sorry, but that is.
It is.
But NASCAR should realize that, right? Like, they should realize, like, we are not making a fuel run. I hate that word because that's not happening anymore. We're making a pit
strategy run.
Right.
We're making a strategy run.
Yeah, there's no... I mean, realistically, Chris Buescher, not Christopher Bell, Chris Buescher shouldn't have pitted, right? So he did the right thing. They should have called the caution, and it trapped the top 10, unlapped down, and then Chase...
They would have taken a wave around.
Yeah, they would have taken a wave around, started in the rear. Chase was the first car lap down, so he would have got the free pass, and so on and so forth. But the rest of the top 10, that's how it was set. So, I mean, I'm sorry, but that's the way it should have went.
And if you look at it in the old days where people ran it out, that's when you got those surprise winners off of strategy. You look at the Coke 600 the old ways, it wasn't the fastest car that always won the race. It was which crew chief could get it done properly. And it's almost the crew chiefs, they're still a big important role. They help set up the cars. They make they figure out what adjustments to make.
Absolutely.
But they used to be able to I think of Casey Mears win. Nobody thought he was going to win the Coke 600 that year. He's a or a race in general. But him and his crew chief, they pulled it off.
And like, there's just like certain thing like, oh, he won on fuel mileage. Like, okay,
it's a win.
I'm sorry,
but absolutely.
Personally,
he crossed the line first.
When the caution comes out on a white flag, I don't like that personally. Obviously, like that's just my call. But I think it's whoever crosses the line first. That's who wins the race.
Yep.
It should never be by the moment of caution. I'm sorry, because realistically, we will slow down by the time we get to that accident. Okay. Like,
that reminds me. They do that. They do that. I remember a few years ago at Talladega, they wrecked on the race after getting the white flag, and they did let them race till the backstretch, and then they called it because by then, there's debris on the track. We don't need them coming through here.
Right. They're waiting to see if the cars are getting started back up and getting out of the way.
But
and then on top of that, I mean, there could be also certain situations, like just hypothetically, say you're at Charlotte or whatever, green, white, checkered. They go around, take the white. The leaders are going into turn one, and there's a wreck right dead in the middle of the front stretch. Like I'm talking, like at start finish line, and cars aren't moving. Then it's got to be called because they can't come back through 200 miles an hour just into sitting cars.
On the front stretch is a different.
Right,
you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge it.
Right. But if they're going into turn 3 and there's a wreck in turn 2, then they'll be all right. Like,
right. That's what I'm more or less talking about because like they like to call, mostly super speedways. This is where I'm talking about.
Right.
Because super speedways, most likely, there's a wreck coming out of turn 2 every time, and if you want to call a caution at that point, I'm like.
That was
they still had a good racing service left.
But at the same time, though, I also do. I mean, NASCAR's gotten better about that in the last 5-10 years or so. They've gotten a lot better with it. But the times that they do call it, I do understand, because when they do choose to call it, it is because of a driver's safety, whether it be someone went head on into the wall. Rest in peace, Eric McClure style at Dega. You know, he absolutely needs attention right there. You know what I mean? So, and although still not necessarily a caution needed to come out, it's obviously put out because they want to get everyone out there as quick as possible to tend to whoever needs the help at the moment. But it's such a gray area. It all depends on a certain situation and how it plays out. And
absolutely.
But
that's what the call's made.
But going back to the tire situation, NASCAR realized he wasn't going to be pitting anytime soon.
They should have called it. They should have called it, absolutely.
Like this waiting 20 laps for green flag pit stops to cycle through. No. Either that or you made an announcement. This will not be a caution because how wide's pit road? You're telling me that a
45, 50 feet.
You're telling me a NASCAR official would have been in danger if he walked out there and grabbed that?
Well,
if they drove out there in a truck?
No.
Not really, obviously. But that's why
it's the fact of the unknown. You don't know what could come off of floor while he's out there.
Yeah.
That is true, but at the same time,
well, that tire was sitting there for 20 laps and you have no idea what's going to get.
Yeah, what if say a car did hit that at full force? That tire's moving afterwards.
Oh yeah.
And that's a bigger safety.
Yeah, it is in the air and flying.
That's more of a safety issue, in my opinion, than somebody walking 40 feet to roll a tire back.
I agree.
That's all the guy did. They rolled out there in a truck.
He rolled it back.
He rolled it back.
I saw that and I was like, is he just going to throw it in the truck? And nope, he just rolled it right on back. I was like, you could have just done that, man. They didn't even need the truck for it. Because there's obviously
I feel like the truck makes it a little safer.
Yep.
I agree, but under caution, they weren't coming down pit road.
Yeah, because that was hindering the racing.
Right. So realistically, they didn't even need the truck because they had pit officials at every box anyway.
Yeah.
So the truck was a little excessive. But real quick, going back to how you said it's a different type of racing, and that how there is no more running it to the end of the fuel stage or fuel run. I just wanted to go back and clarify to the people that might not understand why that is. Well, so back in the day, obviously we didn't have stage racing. So you dropped the green flag. There were some times where the race went green. There was no cautions period. It was rare.
Last one was Mark Martin at Talladega, fastest race record.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't remember that.
188 laps, green flag.
I don't remember that. What year was that?
2002, 2003. It was before the Chase era. It was still the wins.
It was before the Dale Jr. era too, so it had to be 2002. The Dale Jr. isn't like dominating the Talladega races for 4 years.
Yeah.
Right. So anyway,
go ahead.
So the reason it's not like that now with the stage racing, say we have a 130 lap run, okay, and you can run 55 laps of fuel as well as tires, depending on certain tracks. But so instead of running 55 laps of tires and fuel, that makes it essentially a one-stop race, technically, if you save some fuel.
Two
stop race. Anyway, point is, so instead of doing that, because of the fact that they're going to slow down so much over that one run of running 50 laps, they're going to break it down and run 35 to 40 laps, make it a 3-stop race. Therefore, in time-wise, they're breaking it down.
They have a faster average pace.
The faster average pace, exactly, rather than who can run the longest.
Right.
It's becoming, I mean, it's all with the technology. Without the technology, they wouldn't be doing that. But with the technology, they can see specifically how fast these cars are running, specifically lap by lap. Do the math and see how much they're slowing down. So they know 35 laps in the run, they're 2 seconds slower. Might as well come down and pit. You're 2 seconds faster now.
Yep. So. Which essentially splits the stages in half because the way that they're doing it now. because the stages are so short as it is.
Right.
I mean, I remember, you may remember this too, like back when you used to watch it, like it felt like a race took forever though too. Now I feel like
absolutely
they just took the green flag.
Yeah, like stage 2 is over. What?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, like
right. They
do
feel
that
faster,
quite
but they're really not.
honestly, and it takes longer. Like time wise, I think it takes.
It does.
I agree.
But I'm like, so like take Talladega and Daytona for instance. Those two were the most, 15 laps of awesomeness, and then 125 laps of we're just gonna ride the top. And you're just like, or the bottom, and you're just sitting here like, somebody do something, please.
And like, and that's where, and honestly, that's when the best restrictor plate drivers won a lot.
Showed up,
right?
Yep.
Because they played at the front.
They have a better chance of coming home in one piece.
Yeah, because you played at the front the whole time. So like Dale Jr., he led most of every race that he went there because he would just stay in the lead. Because no one's gonna try to pass you for first. With
Tony Stewart wouldn't
with 100 to go, unless you get points at it onto your day, right?
Yeah,
right.
And so, and I wonder if we didn't have the cautions. Personally, I like the cautions. I know a lot of people don't. Sorry, I'm gonna clear my throat. But I know a lot of people like the cautions. Or hate the cautions, but I kind of like them because it gives it like a reset. Like, oh my gosh, we can take a break. We can do.
It does. If a driver blows pit road, and it's early in the race, still stage 1 or stage 2.
Yeah.
There's a reset button still.
Yeah, and I honestly like it.
And it's great for entertainment.
I personally think stage racing is great. I think we can fix it a little bit in a sense of maybe not the whole top 10 gets points. Maybe we can cut it down to 5, and then it'd be more exciting. Yeah. And then it honestly 2 playoff points per stage win, because
shrink up the points.
It would just make it more intense, right? So like, if you don't win stages at Atlanta, I mean, what do you flip and do, right? But if you win, but if you have 2 stage points or 2 playoff points per stage win, just imagine if you win 10 stages. That's 20 playoff points. That's an average of 4 wins.
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
It's more deserving too at that point. Not only are you going to have to work harder for it, but when you succeed, it's going to mean more.
It's also going to make that bubble race for the top 16 more interesting because you look at this year right now. We have 10 different winners and 11 races.
Yep.
Beautiful scenes.
And it's going to be more. We already know it. We know Kevin Harvick's going to win. We know Chase Elliott's going to win. Denny Hamlin is bound for a win. Who else? Those are the 3 big ones. I can think of, right?
Because imagine this would be the most Denny Hamlin way to not make the playoffs. All right, finish in the top 10 at almost every single race, right, and have 16 winners. Imagine.
However, no, because the way this chase format works, the regular season champion is guaranteed a playoff spot.
I saw that, but imagine there's 16 winners.
Doesn't matter. That last winner, whoever the lowest on that poll is, you're out.
That's interesting.
Where did you see that?
But I actually did see that too as well. I did see that a week ago.
Okay, so did they just
actually? It was in the pre-race for Dega or Kansas.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
it was in the pre-race. They talked about it.
I swear
it was was it Shannon Spake or who's the other female?
I can't remember.
So one of them. She was doing the narrating for it. Yeah, she was. 10 winners this season. Yada yada yada. This is how you get in. Blah blah blah. Right. Yeah. And then
the regular season champion is guaranteed.
Guaranteed.
Okay.
Guaranteed.
I love that. I love that. Right.
I do as well.
But I was. That's not what we've been told for the last.
Because when is the regular season champ not won?
Oh,
never.
True. Right.
It hasn't happened.
And I feel like so far this is a realistic thing.
It might happen.
Right. Yeah. That's why I was like, when was that rule even in place? Like that's where I was like, I've never seen that in my life.
I feel like it's always been.
I'm glad
but this is the closest it's been to most realistic. Because most time we have 8-9 winners a year max.
Right.
Last year we had 7?
It was 10. It was
10. 10, yeah. 10.
It was 10 winners before the playoffs.
Oh, it was still 10.
I think 10.
No,
yeah.
Kyle Busch didn't win until the playoffs.
So then 11 later.
Well,
no, there was a good amount.
Yeah,
there was only like 5 spots open
because there was only like a little bit of multi-time winners. The only few multi was like Hamlin, Harvick,
Keselowski, Elliott.
Yeah, it was only 4 of them. Yeah, the rest are all just one. So realistically,
he had Custer,
Joey Logano with
Custer, Blaney.
Logano
back now.
Joey was only 1.
Bowman.
No, I thought he was 2.
No, Logano had 2. He had 2 in the first 4 races.
That's right. And then he didn't win into the playoffs.
Right.
Yep.
I don't know. Anyway, we're getting off topic.
Sorry.
Yeah. But yes, that is a rule. The championship.
Yeah, they did say that.
Okay.
Is locked in.
I'm glad that y'all fixed that for me because I was thinking in my head like, oh god, this is gonna be funny.
That would be terrible.
I think that would be hilarious.
It would be, but at the same time, like that would. So if that was the case, it really would. At that point, you just throw wins away or points away. You have to
win and you in 100%.
Yeah.
At that point,
it would eliminate stage racing. It would eliminate points. It would eliminate everything.
Well,
but you can still get in on points as long as there's not 16 winners.
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, if that was the case, if Denny Hamlin won the regular season championship, it was not granted a playoff spot because he didn't win a race, and there were 16 other winners.
Then Michael McDowell.
It would be who?
Michael McDowell would be sweating.
It would be.
Honestly, though, he's shown up, man, for an underfunded team.
Like
he has shown up.
Top 15s, baby. I swear I've seen more of those this year than his last 4 years.
You know what? Hey, 2311, call McDowell. Put him in that car.
Not even that, but he's had like what? Excluding the win, he's had what, like 2 other top 10s, I think.
Yeah, probably.
He started with 4 top 10s.
Yeah, he had 3 in a row.
That's you're right.
Until Homestead.
Yep.
Because it was only Byron, or no, not Byron. It was only Harvick and him that had the top 10s.
Yeah.
And then he fell out, and then after Homestead, Harvick sucked until
Richmond.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then now I finished second this race, but we'll talk about KFB, I guess, right now.
Yep. Good for him.
By the way, awesome. I called it. I had a feeling that he was going to win this weekend.
You did. Hey, I almost called it. I had Harvick.
Yeah.
One more lap, baby.
Harvick sent Keselowski. Holy cow.
Oh my
he
God.
did not appreciate that block.
I was so close to having the trucks called because I said Kyle Busch is going to win, Matt Crafton needs a good run, and Johnny Sauter is going to be terrible, if I'm correct. And Matt Crafton and Johnny Sauter decided to trade places on my picks.
No surprise. They're both either hit or miss.
Yeah. Although Matt Crafton, I'm surprised that NASCAR hasn't changed the format after what he did.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I mean, realistically, they would be like, oh, you're changing the format now, right? Like, all the fans would just be like, well, I think we should just keep this format. For a long time, we should just keep it, right? The problem
Stop changing.
Our fans that's what's the problem. But we're still getting off the topic with the KFB thing. Of course, he lost his baby during the week, which is so sad for him and Samantha because
Absolutely.
I've actually seen the YouTube video with Samantha. If not, go look at it, please.
I did see that. It's heartbreaking.
I'll have to get in.
It's absolutely heartbreaking.
So
I got some homework.
So knowing Kyle Busch, like outside of the track, a lot of people give him a lot of grief, but he is a true down to earth man. Like if you go look at his social media, and his wife's social media, he truly is like a man, right? Like he's not a whiny baby. Like he's not what everyone perceives him as.
He takes care of his family.
Yeah, exactly. Because like when he puts his helmet on, he's a whole different person, and that's how it should be, right? Like you shouldn't put your work ethic the same as your 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 wife and kids.
Fatherhood.
Yeah, just
I mean,
imagine.
Dale Earnhardt did it very well.
just imagine if Kyle Busch, like Braxton, said no, and he was like, "Well, if you don't like it, just don't even watch." Like, just imagine him saying.
I can literally see it because he's got Brexton Racing now. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
Dad, I don't want to race. Well, you know what? If you don't like it, then go
Totally.
sit on the bleacher.
And then he
I'll
jumps in the
freaking
car.
race the car.
I love what I just saw out of you. That was perfect. Shoot.
But you could see him doing that though. Too.
Yes, I know. That's why it was great. Shoot.
I'm gonna show this kid how a fly job's really done.
And you can see that Kyle Busch is about to tear up in victory, or like on the start finish line. Like you can see like his emotions like starting to get to him, and I was like, "Oh, are we actually gonna see this from Kyle Busch, right?" Like we don't see.
That's not something you expect out of him. No.
And which is I was hoping for it, right? Because like you would see the villain finally break down or finally get excited, right?
Become human.
Right. And so I don't know. I feel like it would have been great, obviously for the sport, but happy for him, his wife, and Braxton as well because they all won this weekend. I mean, he swept their weekend.
Also, can we go Kyle Busch undefeated on his birthday?
Absolutely undefeated on his birthday.
Yep.
Wasn't the last one to like April 2009, Richmond?
Yeah, it was 2009. Yeah.
And I believe he dominated it.
Yeah, he led like 320 out of 400 laps.
Yeah, dominated.
This one wasn't domination, but he definitely
still had a good
he
car
definitely
all
had the second best car.
Yeah,
Larson,
absolutely. He was right there all day.
I think Larson had the best till. Larson had the best
tire.
car when it just kept not even that. I think Larson had the best car when it came to a whole run ran through green flag.
Yeah.
As soon as a caution came out, he dropped back.
Right. And then him sending Blaney into turn one, which
I don't even know if that was more of a send or more of because he was trying to go for the win. I mean, he sent him, but at the same time, like what else was he supposed to do? Get off him and
he was
lose
supposed
momentum?
to push, but I noticed he kind of.
It looked like Blaney got a little loose right at the beginning of the corner.
Well,
Larson didn't let up.
Well, that's because Larson went to the right rear of the car. So because of the pointed nose of the Chevy, like when you turn going into the corner, like he did the way he did it, because he tried to arc it in, and while pushing, that was like not the best thing to do. It got him loose, and he just wouldn't let off. He was like, "Oh, he can save the car, right?" By the way,
usually he does.
Oh, he did.
They did a phenomenal job after that, right? Yeah. But I just think Larson like underestimated the situation, right?
Right.
Obviously, Blaney was not happy. Over Twitter, he said something super sarcastic. It was kind of funny, but I don't remember what it was. But he was just not happy with Larson. I'm sure they'll talk about it. There's no way there's going to be a rivalry between the two because like it was a racing deal. He knows it. It was just a mistake that Larson was going to have to make. Or that he's going to have to learn how not to do that in the future, right?
Right.
Which, congrats, Kyle Busch. Well deserved. Hopefully you don't win your race the rest of the season.
Ryan Blaney's tweet. So Fox responded with, "Y'all, that was awesome. Wow." Ryan Blaney responded with, "I didn't think it was awesome."
Oh, yeah, it's something like that. It was like,
no exclamation, no emojis, just, "I didn't think it was awesome."
That's such a Ryan Blaney response, right? Like super chill, super collective, but like straight to the point.
Yep.
Back to real quick. Obviously, the grief that the Busch family experienced.
Yeah.
It brings me back to last season when Chase Briscoe went through the same thing in the Xfinity Series. Literally the exact same thing, and just went out, got the job done. Ironically, he beat Busch.
Kyle Busch.
I feel like it's the same time of year, too.
Yeah, it was about...
well, I mean, technically, it was the first race back from the pandemic.
Which was in May.
May, yeah.
Was it May?
Yeah.
Okay, well, then same time of year then. But, I mean, obviously, we've seen it time and time and time and time again that when the drivers are pretty much at their most down and out, and nothing is going right on and off the track, they go out and get the freaking job done because that's who they are, and it's an amazing thing to see. Ironically, I was watching YouTube the other day and came across one of them. Heartwarming moments in NASCAR or whatever, and you see all kinds of stuff like that. And I think in another 5 years, Kyle Busch is going to be on there just because of that situation for that one. Although he didn't cry or anything, you could see it in his eyes. It meant a lot.
We saw the human side of Kyle Busch. I want to see more of it. I don't want to see it in the same circumstances.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So sorry. That was my controller.
Oh, okay. But it was overall great race. I was very happy with it. I didn't feel bored. I know stage 2 kind of started stretching out a little bit. Larson had a 3-second lead.
A little more. I think it was 4 or 5.
Okay,
a little more.
So Larson had a good lead again, but there was still good racing around the track, which I did enjoy.
Our next segment is the next gen. It's here. I'm so happy. I'm so happy.
Praise the Lord.
I really thought they were gonna mess. I thought the OEMs, I'm sorry, were gonna mess it up. They did not.
They messed up Toyota, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's gonna hurt Toyota. I really do think so. I
don't think it's gonna hurt Toyota. I think they didn't. The only thing that looks different is the back. I think the front looks the same.
Well, no, I'm saying because of the aerodynamics, I think it's gonna hurt their performance because the way the car is shaped. Which I can share my screen because I have the differences of what the next gen has.
Okay, please do.
I'll just share the screen too. You can just see the whole screen.
All right.
Okay.
Oh,
so
there we go.
So the next gen, of course, we got the shorter deck lid right here. That's amazing. So the air doesn't stay in between the rear windshield and the spoiler. It can just fly right off to give air to the back of the car, to the car behind. The hood things right here, that's to put air to the engine and to the radiator. That's what that's for.
That's so that the engine runs cooler. It's not going to trap as much heat in there.
Bingo. So it does
air go.
It has nothing to do with the actual racing performance of for aerodynamics and dirty air and things like that. I don't really want to focus on that anyways. Shorter greenhouse. I don't really know what that is. I'm sure someone can say something about it.
Shorter greenhouse.
So, maybe it's the back window.
It's the the thing on the side of the car that's usually right here.
The diffuser.
No. No, that's on the hood. Not the hood, on the roof of the car. That clear post right here.
Yes.
So that's what that is.
Like the shark fin.
Yes, but it's shorter. It's even shorter than before.
Okay.
Which I don't know what that does. Personally, I didn't think it created dirty air.
It probably just means less side force.
That's what it sounds like. Less side force, which means it's more driver. It's going to be more in driver control.
Bingo. Okay, thank you. The center lock has 18-inch wheels. I think that's going to be...
They're going to aluminum.
Yes. Beautiful stuff.
Yep. That also allows them to have a bigger brake.
And it's going to be a wider tire with a softer tire as well, allowing more grip.
More mechanical grip, yes.
Yep.
The stepped splitter, I love this because I don't think we would ever go to a valence, right? I think that's over with that, but this is exactly what we're looking for because this is about a half an inch off the ground from the front of the car, but on right here it shows where it can still have speed because of that's planing on the ground, right? Okay.
Right. I wish they would just get rid of it. Raise the cars back up.
I agree, but obviously this is the best we got. I think it'll still work because
that yes, it will work. I just wish it would go back. Bring the '90s back.
So this is a lot of different stuff. That's not really. That doesn't really matter.
Well, so the rack
only other
ingredient is
main.
new. They also the independent rear suspension. That's going to be awesome. I think where you're really going to see that play into better effect is going to be those super rough tracks,
like the road courses. Yeah.
The road course is one. Also, I think of Atlanta is kind of rough, but I mean, I know it's a fast track. I think also larger brakes. Yep. I'm also wondering how these cars are going to act on the different ones where there's the multi-track surface.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that bad.
So
they also have a new gearbox too, correct?
Yes, it's a 5-speed. I can't remember what it's called, but the H pattern's gone.
Right.
So this is the rear diffuser as well. This is going to create the air from the splitter, the air is going to go straight to the car behind. So that whole dirty air Gen 6 thing, of course, dirty air will always be a factor. Okay, we can never get rid of dirty air. That's impossible, because, I mean, it's called physics, right? So, but putting air on the front of the nose of a car is going to help the dirty air get erased, right? It's going to lighten up the load of it. And it looks like it's a smaller spoiler right here, but in the specs they said it'll depending on the track. I think we'll keep this size spoiler until you get to the super speedways. But I think we'll have this size, so that's beautiful as well. Trying to think of.
Can we just say how the cars look?
Yeah.
Chevy, Ford knocked it out of the park.
One thing I do want to note out right here. So you see that indent right there?
Mm-hmm.
So that's for the car. So that's for the air to come out of the car and go to the side of it and blow on the other cars as well. So the traffic will help as well. So there's a lot of air type of areas for traffic. I love that. That is amazing. They truly did. Honestly, this looks like a mixture of Gen 4 and Gen 6 put together. That's what it looks like. It literally looks like that, which I think that's beautiful. I'll show you all the cars. 1 second, let me get to it.
I say you passed Ford already.
I passed all three of them.
I saw Ford.
We started with
Toyota.
We started with Toyota, kinda.
There's Ford.
Okay, this is what the Ford looks like. I think this.
That Ford is sick.
This is the best looking one, and I'm not even a Ford guy.
Yep, me and Mitch were talking about that. We were saying Ford definitely knocked out of the park. Chevy did well. Ford did better.
Yep.
Toyota, I think they should have gone to the Supra like they do in the Xfinity series, but
apparently they didn't want to, so they had the option, but there was something to do with they wanted to keep the most normal sedan on the racetrack type of thing, which the other two have sports cars. Why not have the other one, right?
Yeah.
But that's just my opinion. I guess we're here. Do you want? Are y'all okay to stop talking about the next gen, or do y'all have any more thoughts about it?
So I will say this: I'm very happy with how it looks. I'm wondering how drivers are going to adjust to the new sequential gearbox. That's what it's called.
Yeah, sequential.
It's that H pattern's gone now. It's going to be a huge learning curve. I mean, these guys are professionals. I mentioned.
So what is it going to be now, though, instead of the H pattern?
So basically it'll just go up and down.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's gonna drive. So like the supercars, how that goes straight up or down.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it will be.
Yep. So there is one driver in the field who does have a lot of experience with that.
AJ.
Well, sorry, two drivers.
I was like, who's the other one?
Okay, AJ, yes, also Cole Custer.
Custer? Really?
They use the same. I believe they use the same gearbox for that Sportsman series that he races.
Really? Okay.
I believe.
All right. Well.
Oh, that's the next thing. The throwback weekend.
Throwback weekend. There's one thing I want to show you guys because I saw this and I really liked it on Twitter. Hold on. Okay, that didn't really help me. Well, that's what I was looking for. Did you see what I typed in? It literally did nothing.
No, but I just saw a guy pumping iron.
Okay, where? Oh, this is it.
Yes, I saw this. Which one's your favorite?
Honestly,
I like.
Good.
I like 2 and 5. Actually, it's not 2 and 4.
Okay, I personally. Okay, this brings me back to like old style racing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But realistically, number 5 is the best looking one that we have. I just love how clean it looks, how bright and like how the black outlines like the NASCAR logo. I think it just
Right.
looks
It
really
makes
cool.
everything stand out in it.
But this just brings me back to like happiness, right? Like,
Right. 2000s.
Yeah.
That was a good time.
2000. That was
there.
the 90s, bro.
Well, this is all the way up till 2015.
I know.
Well, this was
But
this year. This
No,
had
that-
40 years of logo. Actually,
that's true.
that's crazy. But that's all I wanted to show you. So, what was your favorite Mitch? You did. I don't think you answered.
My favorite would probably be the 4.
Okay,
But I also like 1 a lot.
I do too.
Yeah, red ball. I like it too. I like 2 because I feel it stands out a little more.
Right.
Hey, NASCAR International.
It looks like a track too. That's kind of dope.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
1 is how they start out. Now it's, and I feel like we're always going to stay with the 4 or 5 configuration. I think this weekend what they should do is use one of the other logos. They're obviously theirs.
So I think
that would be cool.
This is probably one of the reasons why they did. Because look, it's Fox. I don't even follow them. I'm gonna just go ahead and follow that. I just noticed that. Obviously it's Fox. Do you think that they're bringing Larry Mack and DW to be stage 2 like NBC?
That's what I thought they were gonna do last year, being the first year without DW, but they didn't.
Well, the Throwback was still on NBC.
That's correct.
You're right.
So,
Which will also be on Peacock this year.
So this right here.
They might then.
We've never had a Throwback on Fox, right? I think it would be really cool to see. Like, obviously, I don't know what DW is into like right now. Obviously, he's in a lot of stuff. But
I saw
what I think they could
2 ago.
Instead of voting for your, sorry.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Well, I saw like a month or 2 ago. He did a press conference or something along the lines of that at Nashville Super Speedway, and he actually said that he misses it a ton. He regrets leaving.
I could see that, but what I was going to say, Mitch, what I think they should do instead, obviously Fox is broadcasting the race this weekend. Mm-hmm. Why not use all 5? Why pick a favorite? Use all 5 throughout the race. I mean, it's Throwback weekend. Why not touch up on it?
I think if they were to do that, I think no.
I'm not saying like I'm saying like so like how they'll have like the NASCAR logo like on the banner and stuff like that for the race tracker and stuff like that. Why not just throw that up there once or twice? Oh, look at these trucks.
Oh, it's horrible.
Okay.
I mean, I remember that truck.
Personally,
I do too.
I didn't even like the original. But
no.
It's not bad. I just think it's ugly.
By the way,
Kids Plus, I'm going to have to check them out.
I just want to say thank you to Toby Christie for doing all this on his page.
Yes, thank you very much, sir.
Shout out to you. I did have an album for all this, but I didn't have all the trucks because for some reason all the teams just didn't post it in time, and so I just said forget it and just do this. This is Stuart Friesen.
It looks I understand it looks pink, but that's probably just the way it's printed out.
The way it's rendered, yeah.
Yeah. I do like it though.
I like Eric Darnell I like that. I'm glad he's racing. That's cool. Um,
I didn't even see that one. That's awesome.
Bailey Curry, that's pretty cool. I don't even know what he's throwing it back to. Mike Stefanik, actually. Sorry. And tell me if I'm going too fast, okay? Just
No, you're perfect.
this is I love this. Okay, so you see the 10 like in the
Mhm.
42.
Donnie Benson.
I love that.
I didn't even see that one. I like that one.
Yep.
That's nice.
This is the link that we found before the podcast.
Yeah, right before it. Okay, this
Ooh.
Yep. Camping World's throwing money at him again.
is this is legit.
I think he's
like
on like
that.
3 or 4 trucks.
Yeah, probably.
Obviously, it's not a finished product, so I mean, it'll look better once it's all done.
Right.
Well, it's not even a throwback to a scheme. It's just honoring Camping World.
Yeah.
This is a iRacing picture, which is kind of dope. But I don't even know who that is.
I don't either.
The 40? That's probably going to be Time Majesty.
No, it's Ryan Truex. I'm talking about like who's.
Oh, Truex.
I just don't.
Oh,
know.
I don't know.
I don't know who that is. David Gillen's not even throwing it back to anybody. Ty
Should throw
Gillen,
it back to himself.
probably.
I was like, yeah,
honoring
that David Gillen, that's his throwback back when he was in the, I believe, what car was that? Was it the 38 or 36?
No, I saw a picture of the truck with the throwback. It was, I don't know.
No, David Gillen's.
Oh, that's not a throwback. Like that's
not throwback.
like,
Are you sure?
That's his actual
Yeah.
truck. That you,
Yeah, that's the one that he's been running.
Well, tells you what I pay attention to.
This is kind of cool, I guess. I really.
How do you say his name?
Akanori Agacha.
Oh, gotcha.
Japanese? I don't think I've ever heard of him.
Yeah,
1995, Randy McDonald.
I remember that.
it's pretty dope truck. Actually,
I wasn't alive to see it, but I do remember that.
I really liked it. I really like this actually. I don't mind
Mhm.
that. There's I don't know. This is kind of dope.
Ooh, I like that.
I like this part. Like this is really cool.
Yeah, the
I
deck
love-
lid is.
I love when trucks do this. So when like they
I know they have so much extra space.
This is what I don't understand. If I was in the truck series and I want to race and I did a burnout, I would make certain I'm on that deck lid after every race. Like no truck driver takes that advantage.
so
Michael Waltrip.
this is a Michael Waltrip throwback. This is awesome.
You want to? So
That's
I
from
think
what, like
of-
85?
Well, that's he. I remember him being in this paint scheme,
Yeah.
and he lost at Darlington.
That's crazy.
He was the most dominant car all day.
I'm
and he
glad they
lost.
changed the number font too. That's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. I love this. This is awesome.
It is.
Hey,
It
first
looks so
July.
good. They did such a good job on that.
They really did. I love this truck too. It looks great.
Yep. That looks good.
Reminds me of my childhood days.
It does. It throws me back to
Yeah.
under 2003.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is a beautiful race truck as well.
Davey Allison.
Beautiful. Of course it doesn't have a sponsor, but I think this.
I like how it looks.
Sorry, I love I love everything about this game. Just the 21, everything about it.
It doesn't even need a sponsor. It looks good the way
I
it
really
is.
hate that it drove with a Chevy though. I feel like
Yeah.
You Ford.
yeah. This is pretty cool. Jack Spread.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, this looks pretty identical. Even the 0 is perfect. That's pretty cool.
They got the number font. That, like, I when it comes to like cars, I'm very picky on when they do throwbacks. Make the numbers look right.
Mikey.
Here they did a decent job as well.
I do not know how they were able to get the 3. I do not know how without getting sued.
That's a good point. I didn't even realize that. Well, actually, no. When you think about, because Jay McMurray ran those stripes when he was at Ganassi. So that might be how that might have been how they snuck it in.
I don't even know what this is. Why? I don't even know a throwback to the actual sponsor itself. I guess
Probably.
This is cool. You see a throwback onto from a Okay.
Modified.
Yeah.
Do you not watch modified racing?
Not really.
No.
This is Daryl Waltrip Throwback. Oh my god.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
This is beautiful.
It is.
Okay, so this is Larry McReynolds' first crew chief in car.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That is awesome. I really love to see that.
That is.
Jordan, by the way, shout out to his team because they put a lot of work, and that's awesome. Also, he's married to Larry's, or he's engaged to Larry's daughter, so that's probably why.
Didn't know that. Jason Leffler.
This is a beautiful race truck.
Okay, when I see this truck though,
I think of Penske.
No. I don't think of Penske. For some
I do
reason,
because of the font, but
okay, I see where you're coming from. I think it's maybe just when I see the two, I think of Bobby Hamilton. Who was it that he drove for? I can't remember. But the one championship year, the owner put in like 15 trucks in the race.
Oh, I have no idea.
It was for the championship.
I love any Jason Leffler throwback though.
Oh yeah.
This is okay. So this is from 1966. Ford's GT's first win. That's beautiful. I love that.
Yep.
I really don't like circle numbers, but when they get it inside the full number, like the circle around the full number, that's when you do it right.
Yes.
But yeah, that's fine. This is. I'm not gonna go there yet. Because I already want to skip this. This is, I guess, cool. I don't really like this, but that's whatever.
I don't remember that.
Okay, so this is my least favorite. I found my least favorite.
Yeah, your pick changed.
Here's my favorite. All of our favorite trucks. This is beautiful. I wish I could.
I know they say they're honoring Ron Ford today. However, Kevin Harvick did drive that paint team in the Truck Series too, didn't he?
No. He never.
No,
he didn't.
Honda. Nope. It was KHI though, and that's why it is there.
So
it was strictly Ron Horner
right here. Okay, so
it looks good.
So it's for Wright, like the company, obviously, for Chris Wright.
Right.
But I love how they put good in front of it because they didn't have to, right? Like
they did. They could have.
It looks so good.
Right, and it would. If they just did right, it still would have looked good.
You're right, but I'm done saying right, but
that's also the first like KHI or Kevin Harvick throwback out of anything throughout the years so far.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a hint of what's coming.
Probably.
This is cool. I don't really like it, but it's cool.
It's simple.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know what it's honoring, really. Like, I see it Vic and Jim, but I guess it's...
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
I don't know. This is awesome. I love this.
Yep. Didn't they use the same paint scheme, though?
No, because this
2 or 3 years ago?
This is like his first couple of years. Like,
yeah, they did that, didn't they? In the Cup Series.
No, I thought they used the full orange.
No, in the Cup Series they did all of Stewart's championship cars.
Okay,
Okay.
So yeah, it was the all orange, and then there was one similar to that, but it wasn't that.
Okay.
Okay, this is really cool because this is honoring his crew chief.
Yep. But, that is cool. It honestly looks ugly, but it is cool.
It looks like something you put together in your backyard, and you're going to take it to the track. That's awesome.
Literally, yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, this is one of my favorites, not because of the way it looks, just because of like what it resembles. Like,
right.
This is beautiful. I really wish that this 9 would be so much bigger. So, like, you see how like that is.
The slant. Well, so that's because of number regulations. The numbers can only be so big. So, like Junior, for instance, on his '88 car, he wanted the numbers bigger, but they wouldn't allow them to be.
That's sad.
I like that.
Yep.
This is really good.
Yes, it is.
I love how they did a top view as well, like on this.
Mm-hmm.
It just shows like exactly what it looks like. I love that. It looks good.
It gives you a 360 view essentially.
Okay, this is. There you go.
What can Brown do for you?
That's the best one, man.
I like how they added the Brandon on there.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Like, oh, scratch that.
So
I think that's such a good Dale
UPS
Jarrett
is
throwback.
actually, I'm sorry, but UPS actually tweeted at Brandon Brown, and they may have a sponsorship coming up with them.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
This is really cool. Okay, as much as I could care less about Stephen Wallace and Rusty Wallace for real. But
I agree. I love Kenny Wallace though.
Yeah, he's hilarious.
He is.
But this is really cool. I love this. I love flames on a race car. It's just something about it. It's just.
I know. So I remember, for a while, nobody wanted flames because that's what Gordon had.
Yeah.
From 2001 on until 2007, 2008 when DuPont dropped out. But he always had flames on his car. And for the longest time, people were like, oh, flames, you don't do that. That's Gordon's thing. They're starting to make a comeback. Richie Evans throwback. Oh, that is awesome. So Richie Evans, modified driver out of Rome, New York. Awesome. He has I think he's either tied or has the most modified track championships for the NASCAR Modified Series. He's in the Hall of Fame too.
That's dope. I really love this.
Yeah,
I like it, but the only problem I have with it is they did the exact same thing last year.
They did?
The exact same thing. Yep, for Brandon Jones.
Okay, I didn't even notice it. Probably because Brandon Jones wasn't running up front, so I didn't see it.
So this one, they were very creative. This is his Michael Waltrip days. No, this is Robert Yates days.
Yeah.
They did very good with it. I like how they did the ASE. Looks very clean. Numbers a little off. I don't like that so much. Maybe it's just because it's different numbers. It doesn't look right in my eyes, but it does look good.
Yeah, it does look
good. I like it. It was previously my favorite until I saw the Brandon Brown one.
Yeah.
And no disrespect to the 51, but the Brandon Brown one is just, it's perfect.
And they get the 8 right. It's beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is cool.
Yeah, I like that.
Isn't this your favorite, Thomas? Or?
No. Cups, it's coming up. You'll see it.
Oh, you like the fake Hot Wheels one?
You'll see it.
The fake Hot Wheels.
Of course.
Richard Petty throwback.
Would do. Oh my gosh.
What, Richard Petty?
I have no words. No, I just don't like Kyle. But
he's got some badass paint schemes though.
He does. You're right. I really like this. Actually, I just hate how it's so boxy.
Wait. Yeah. I just realized what the sponsor is. That's awesome. Pit Vipers.
Oh.
Pit Viper.
It's cool.
Rich Bickle. Isn't that the Slim Jim car?
Yeah, I can't really read that, but sure. Oh, this is throwing it back to Kenny Wallace.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
In his short-lived career.
Actually, okay.
Well, it wasn't short, really. He just didn't do nothing.
This is really cool, actually.
Yeah.
I didn't even see this. This is the first time seeing this.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
This is the first you're seeing a lot of these. This is my favorite one.
The fake Hot Wheels, yeah.
They got the number right. Obviously it's not the same number, but the font's right. They got the rim right.
3 or 4 years ago, someone else did a Hot Wheels one, and they actually had Hot Wheels as a sponsor. Yeah, it was great.
Okay, this is probably the most laziest one that we've seen.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Because it doesn't even have the same color. I don't know. I just hate it. Honestly, all the Joe Gibbs suck this year. I don't.
You just said the 54 was cool.
Well, it was cool, but it wasn't it's not compared to the others we're about to see.
I will say Red Farmer in the 18 there. Daniel Hemricks is probably the best of the Xfinity series, though. Looking at that compared to the Red Farmer's vehicle, it's really close. I just feel that the gold's not going to be quite the same.
No, the gold's just going to look plain in my eyes.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even see that one. Kenseth throwback. That's cool.
Of all Kenseth.
I know of all cars, right? But that it looks good. I didn't even see that one though.
I see why they went with him. If you look at the side, I understand the hood's blue and red, but then you look at the side, it is green there for Work Pro for the sponsor.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
It was a beautiful race car.
Yep.
Oh man.
Is it a throwback
AJ
in the last 10 years?
Okay. Realistically,
it's close.
No, but it's in the same
But
situation.
I was at that race.
Yeah. That was a good race too. That was a dang good race.
That was my last race I went to.
Love AJ Allmendinger though.
Oh yeah.
I feel like he hasn't obviously had the best of career. I feel like he's really at his prime.
He's had a resurgence in the Xfinity series.
Right. But I think that's awesome though to throw back to himself, especially his first victory. I think that's a good thing for him.
I'm surprised he couldn't get some of the same sponsors.
I agree. I really thought he would have been able to pull a couple.
Okay.
There's more.
What? Kylie just said that she's only seeing the background of the computer on the stream.
The background. Well, that's not good.
Here we are sitting.
Oh my gosh.
You didn't share it, did you?
No, I did share it. I did share it. Okay.
You didn't. Do we have to go all the way back over?
No, we're not going to. We're just. Okay.
We'll leave a link in the description in the comment section.
I'm so glad that she noticed that before we got to the Cup Series. Thank you. You're sharing. Stop sharing. Okay. Now we're gonna share.
I guess just eventually we'll just make a quick scroll through to point out our favorites.
Okay.
That's probably all we'll do.
There we go.
After we go through the rest.
Okay. This is good. Can y'all see this?
Yeah, I just checked it. We're good.
Okay. Well, can you see? I'm talking about for the you.
Yeah.
Yes, I see it.
Okay. All right, that's good. All right. I'm sorry, guys. That was me. I'm an idiot. I'm talking about for the shit. Sorry. Here's Colby Howard. Not really important. Mike Skinner. I really like this. I don't like the scheme itself, but I really like the way they did this. They
did very well on it.
They should have colored the 13 as gray like they did, but
I think it was chrome on his car, wasn't it? It wasn't gray.
No, I think it was like it could have been a chrome. You're right. It could have been a chrome.
It's awesome that they went to this first entry but it looks the same. It looks like a different variation of the paint scheme that's run every week.
Yeah. I really don't like it. Per se, I think it sucks. This is really cool for Jet Burton.
Yeah. Going back to his dad.
Like, this is super. Honestly, this is awesome. And but
when I see this, I don't think of that. I think of when I think of Warburton, I think of the Pennzoil.
Yeah,
right.
Same. Honestly, this car, it reminds me of 2003, NASCAR Thunder 2003, again as well, with at Dover, because it was the NBA, or it was that sponsor for the title of the race, and that's the car I would use. I don't know. It just made me go back to when I was like 8 years old.
They did. All right, next one. They did awesome copyright infringements. The 8 couldn't be the same, but they did a really good job. And I like the poster they came out with it for 20 years later.
I love that they put the 2 drivers here too. I like Michael and Dale. That's really cool.
Yep.
This is beautiful. Okay.
Yep.
So
that was one of my favorites.
I'm gonna explain why that this is awesome. Okay, so the render that they sent out, of course, it's a cartoon because it's for the Tasmanian Devil. When they did this, right? So and that was a cartoon stuff like that as well. But the fact that they did this is just beautiful. I don't know. I just love that. I love the
It
seven
looks
that
great.
looks. It starts out looking like the three, too. It's beautiful. This is one of my. It's okay. It's tied for first. This is one of my favorite throwbacks of Xfinity. I just love the way the six looks and everything about it.
It's a really good throwback to Mark Martin.
Right.
I don't think they could have done a better job, honestly, with it.
Yeah.
The six is right. The styling's right. Even when you look at it, the placement as far as everything goes is right. The only thing that would have made it better is if it was on a Ford. I think that would have sealed it.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you can't change manufacturers from one race.
And the fact that it's an Xfinity series, I mean, obviously Mark didn't run this scheme in the Xfinity, but Mark, previously to Kyle Busch, Mark was obviously the most winningest driver in Xfinity. So it's a huge honor. Right.
This is lame. I'm sorry.
Throwing back to his dad, right? Or his grandfather?
No, Jimmy Llewellyn? I don't know who that is.
I believe that's his grandfather, is what I read.
It could be, but this is kind of lame.
Something like that,
yeah. Sorry. My Snyder. This is my favorite of Xfinity, and here's why. So I'm a huge Darrell Walter fan. Like if I was back in the 80s and 90s, I should probably go 80s. I'll just say 80s. I would have been a Darrell Walter fan just because of like how he responded to people and how he raced. It's just my type of people. But
you like going to tell people they can't read?
No. Just I like when someone else says it.
Okay.
Jeffrey Earnhardt, this is a beautiful race car as well.
Yep.
That was his
throwing dad to his granddad.
That was his all-star paint scheme, wasn't it? No, Coke 600, right?
Yeah, I believe Coke 600.
Which up till that point, you really didn't have like a special paint scheme for races. Like this is kind of the start of it.
Oh yeah, that was dope. Honoring Back to the Future. This is awesome.
That's cool. I didn't see that.
This is really dope. Like
it is. Flux capacitor in the back.
That's cool, man. I didn't see that one.
I want to see what. I wish they could have done a little bit more on the backside, but they can't do anything on the spoiler, so I understand why.
Well, they at least could have like. What if they would have made a clear spoiler and just made it black like that? You know, I feel like that would have been kind of cool. But I don't know. I guess that's what it is. All right, now we're to the Cup Series. We've already been streaming for an hour and 13 minutes. So here's Danger Suarez. This is just honoring
Red Farmer Camping World.
Yeah, it's just.
We saw this in the trucks paint schemes too.
This is really cool. I kind of like it. It's average. Yeah, not too special, but not bad. This is cool. I don't know. Just not really much to say about it, I guess. So this is actually throwing it back to Robert Presley, but is also giving Happy Mother's Day on it as well. I love that. That's really cool. I like how they did both of those together.
And there's also at least one more Happy Mother's Day car out there.
Yeah. Okay.
I believe Cole Custer's car.
Yeah, it's Cole's. This is beautiful. So I really wouldn't like the scheme originally, right? But the fact that how detailed they were, like the insurance company that they have, Insurance King, how detailed they were to allow them to do this, that's what made it great for me.
Another crew chief throwback, which I think that's cool that we've been doing. Yeah. We've seen multiple schemes throwing, like, we always talk about past drivers. What about past crew chiefs? Like, they all obviously had a life before NASCAR.
Yeah.
A lot of them raced. They realized they weren't going to make it big time, but they were good at this right here, being crew chiefs.
Yeah. It's beautiful. Honestly, I can't wait to see it live because it's either going to be a hit or a miss as the car. Like, it's either going to be a really beautiful race car or it's going to be like, okay, get that out of the lead type of thing. This is not a throwback.
Oh god.
Okay.
This
is not a throwback. This is a disgrace to Ricky Craven. Okay? I'm sorry, but this is awful.
I know, especially we're going back to Darlington. You should have used the Ricky Craven Darlington win against Kurt Busch.
And they should have just put Kroger inside the circle, right? Like they didn't have to use Tide on the front.
But they could have at the same time. Put Kroger on the side panel.
Oh my gosh.
It's sad.
It is.
It's sad that they had to. Okay, it's sad that Kroger pays so much money that they couldn't just change it, right? But sponsors give them the money, right? I love this car. I think this is one of my favorites.
Yep, that one looks really good.
But I can't wait to see the orange on the track because the pictures really never give the orange look like it's supposed to.
Right. It goes back to the I don't know if he's run at any other time, but I know at the beginning of the season he had the Arm & Hammer scheme. It was the orange and black. That orange looked so sick on the real car. The pictures, it just doesn't do it justice for the orange.
Yeah. This is really cool.
Yep.
And it has the same font as the 27 as well, like Thomas pointed out earlier.
Yeah. Which, I mean, that's awesome. I like when they do that. It's because you have these drivers and they don't change their font at all. I mean, you look at last year, Jimmy Johnson with Hendrick Motorsports, 3 of the throwbacks, the numbers were completely wrong. But yet you were able to go and make the numbers right on Jimmy Johnson's car.
Look how big ass this spoiler is. It's freaking huge.
It is.
Oh my god. Can this year be over already?
Alan Kowicki.
I love this paint scheme. I just really hate, I don't know,
Freight auctions and We Care.
Yeah, I just really hate that. Sorry. It just really bugs me. That's all.
That was Hardy's on it, right?
Yeah, Hardy's, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
This one, most creative for throwbacks, I think, the way they did it. Because on the original, as we pointed out earlier, it's flames, and they made it melted cheese instead. So they were putting in themselves, but at the same time, they were honoring him in a good way.
Yeah.
It's a solid throwback. They did a great job on it.
You go ahead, Mitch. You go too.
That was my favorite. Michael McDowell's Bill Elliott throwback. I think that's the best one of them all. I think it's going to look sharp on the track. God, that spoiler, man.
Oh, yeah. Here's my favorite. I think this one, they knocked it out of the park. Numbers right, fonts right. You can't really tell here. I think we'll see it better once we get onto the track. The blue compared to how it was and how it looks on this car. I feel that it had more of a matte finish back then. Now it's more of a gloss to it, but I think it'll still look really good.
It'll look really good. Okay.
I can't believe they're not running the race under the lights.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm so mad about that. Hopefully they get rain.
The original spring race on Darlington wasn't under the lights, so I guess.
I know, but
original Darlington was never under the lights.
Lights look so good there, though, especially with the throwback themes. It brings them to life.
This is really cool. I like it. I just okay. I really hate the scheme itself. Like realistically, okay, it's an average scheme. I shouldn't say I hate it, but I love the memorial and like this on the car. I love that. That's awesome.
But then the number just kills it.
Yeah, it just makes the scheme.
It's nothing against Bubba. You see other drivers doing it. I think Wendell Scott, good enough person, great driver. great person. You should have done the number the same way.
I agree. Honestly, when they did the truck throwback, when he won in the trucks,
It was perfect.
it was beautiful. But I don't know why
Mm-hmm.
they messed. Well, probably they probably had a reason why they had to keep it a certain way on the 23. Um, I this is a cool paint scheme, I guess.
I hate the circle.
Personally, I don't like when they throw back to F1 and other series because this is a NASCAR throwback. That's just my opinion. But
I mean, Mario Andretti did race in NASCAR, so they could have chosen something better.
they could have chose his race car, right? Like, why? It's just Penske is all about himself. Like
Mm-hmm.
they never go out of the box. I'm sorry, but that is what it is. This is awful. This is really bad.
Yep, that one's horrible.
Uh, I think this would be a good race car if it wasn't if they wouldn't call this a throwback. It'd be really cool. But honestly, all Joe Gibbs besides Hamlin and well, the 54 is pretty cool in Xfinity, but it's not great, but it's cool. But those honestly, GGR sucked. This is he literally ran this game all of 2016, so I don't know why we'd go back to it, but that's just beside the point. But it's kind of cool that they're throwing back to the sponsor. This is dope. Pretty average. It's one of my favorites. AJ Foyt. This is beautiful.
Yep, it's a classic.
I really love how like they have the way they have the high point as well, matching the Gilmore.
Right.
It just looks good. Honestly, I think it's ironically. So we usually have the problem where the original scheme is too busy for our cup cars now, but I think this cup car is too busy for the original scheme. If it had like less sponsors on it, it'd look better.
I do like they also did the helmet too. I think that was a good touch.
Oh yeah, that's dope.
Right, and then Tony is for one all about his helmets. He's a helmet collector, so I guarantee he's going to want that helmet from Briscoe. But also, AJ Foyt was also Tony Stewart's favorite growing up, so it's like a win-win both ways for that.
So I mean, he'll probably keep this helmet and throw it at the 17 of JJ Ellie. Probably be perfect. This is Ryan Bunny's throwback to a super late model.
So funny.
Sorry, I couldn't help that one.
Honestly, I love the scheme itself. I just hate that he threw it back to himself. Like, I'm sorry, but that's just kind of dumb. But unless you're retiring, I don't think you should throw it back to yourself. But I love this. Like I wish this was the scheme. Let's just say that. This is really cool. I like this, but I really hate this part of the car. Please finish that red, okay? Where's that line going? Why did it just stop right there at the window?
Yeah, like we said. I mean, I understand it's the hollow FedEx underneath, right in front of the tire, but there's no reason they couldn't have just swapped those two sponsors and had the red finish up.
Yeah. It is what it is. But, Mitch, you can go ahead and talk about this one because this is one of your favorites.
That's a Mark Martin throwback. Actually, that one is thrown back to the Xfinity Series, I believe.
Yeah, it is.
Yep. And cool it would be on a Ford.
Right. I watched a video actually today. Mark was talking about that scheme. That was the only time they ran that scheme, and he went to victory lane with it at Texas. So
that's really cool.
Cool deal. Also, the scheme is 99% the exact same. The only difference is instead of having the Winn-Dixie on the hood, it's on the quarter panel only.
Okay, that's cool.
Yep.
This is my favorite paint scheme of the group, and I'm not just being biased either. I genuinely love.
It looks great.
It's better than last year's because last year they messed up the number. Like I said, they ran Chase's normal number. They actually used the same font Alan Kowicki used. It honestly, if you put a 7 there, it looks identical.
Well,
other than a Chevy.
Well, last year they threw it back to Jimmy.
Yeah.
Yes, but they didn't. They all kept
okay.
their same number fonts.
You're talking about
That's
Jimmy's
like I said. Like when they do these, like I get picky with how they do it. If you mess up the number, it can mess up the entire paint scheme. You can have an amazing looking paint scheme, and then you throw your standard number on there, and it ruins it.
So there's actually a funny story about this with Chase Elliott on Twitter. So he said, "Oh, hey guys, my designer is on vacation. Is there anybody that would like to do a free design, a contest for my fans, and whoever wins, they will get a shout out and get all the credit." Okay, a lot of people was negative for Chase Elliott for doing this. It was like, why don't you just pay another designer? Why are you trying to get free stuff? Like all this stuff, like all this, and I'm like, he literally was trying to promote someone's ability. Like,
right.
Like why is people mad at that? Of course they're mad at it because of who he is, but that's just beside the point. And then Hooters also said, well, since everyone's mad, whoever wins, they will get like a gift card to Hooters. Like I don't know how much that is, and like all this like free stuff, which that's dope. But I don't know why people got so mad. And Chase like responded to a lot of people with like the most sarcastic tone possible, and it was awesome. It was pretty funny, like because we don't see the personality of Chase, like at the racetrack. But if you go on Twitter or on his Twitch streams, you get to see who he really is, and it's pretty funny. I like this a lot. I just don't. Like, I don't. It's not like great or anything, but I really just love the colors. To me, it's just a beautiful race car.
Yeah.
And then this is beautiful. Everything about
it is.
Yeah. That looks great.
It's literally the same exact vehicle, besides a Chevrolet. It doesn't even look that bad though, even with it.
No, it doesn't.
No, they did a really good job on this. I mean, and like we said earlier, or I was telling you guys earlier, they're operating out of the same shop that Alan Quickie was out of.
Mm-hmm.
That's that. I was hoping for something along these lines from them. They knocked it out of the park.
Okay, so he usually doesn't have this many sponsors right here, right? Is that like
no?
Did he just put these from the car?
I think they did, because they don't have sponsors there right now.
That is beautiful. I love that.
Yeah, I see mechanic wear. Unfortunately, that's all I can read. And they put the Goodyear above the tire.
They have the old NASCAR logo, the number 2, the one that you like. See it?
Yep.
That's beautiful. Okay. This actually may be number 1. I'm putting Chase in second. This is number 1. What the hell is this?
SCCA National Champions. I don't know. It looks cool.
SCCA. What the hell? I don't like this.
I think that'd be a modified.
No, SCCA National Champions. Let's Google it.
Yeah, Google what that is.
I can just do it right here.
1976.
Do you want me to do it, or do you got it?
I already got it.
Oh, okay.
Who is Kohler Jenner? I can't read that.
Kohler Generators. I think that's just a sponsor.
Oh, okay.
It looks like it's like a sportsman class, like original cars.
Okay. Association Car Collection Academy, maybe, or what's the acronym?
Yeah, Google it.
I can't type today. Sports Car Club of America.
Okay, so yeah, so it's like it's like factory cars racing.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I don't know.
That's cool. So it's probably just whoever won that race. That's what the paint scheme was.
Okay.
Kyle Larson.
I really hate when
throwing back to himself.
Yeah, I really hate that. But I guess when you barely have sponsorship, this is all you get. No, I'm I'm sorry, Kyle Larson. I've beaten you up today, haven't I?
I think it looks all right, considering. I mean, yeah, you don't have a sponsor, so they don't have nothing to really work with, kind of.
Yeah.
But with that being said, they could have done like a full on like Ricky Hendrick throwback.
Yes. Well,
even a Labani. I mean, anything.
They legit could do a Kellogg's throwback that says Hendrix.com.
Right.
Because they had no restrictions with HendrixCars.com.
You know what car I really love? Google it real quick. The Terry Labonte K Central car.
Oh, I know that car.
It's a beautiful car, bro. Beautiful. I made that one on NASCAR 15. Back when we had an actual paint booth.
This one?
Yes.
Yep.
Oh, that's dope. I spent it with the
same. Yeah, it's a beautiful car.
Oh, this is dope. They could have used this.
That's what I'm saying. And there's a couple different variations of that car as well. But
we're not gonna talk about your spelling though, by the way.
Yeah, I literally just said Central with a C. I didn't know what it was. This is dope.
Yeah, they could have done that.
All right, they could have done that one right there. I mean, there's so many possibilities.
Or
I love Terry Labonte schemes.
Or legit, they could have done. Someone should do this car and this car in Cal.
Well, that'd be great.
Well, wait till we see the next car because I don't know why both of them could have done it.
Legit, this is the first time we had the 5 and the 3 back. Like, this is kind of cool. Okay,
oh yeah, I like it. It's good. They matched the number up. They did very well. It goes back to that
Fireball
gold thing
Roberts
that I was talking about earlier. I don't know how well that's going to look.
Probably not as well because it reminds me of
this one's wrapped. I know that's not real paint. This one's wrapped. You can just tell.
Right. It reminds me of last season though, when Johnson did the Chrome car, right?
Yeah.
Chrome. He was saying that they can't do actual chrome and gold and stuff like that because of the laser scanners for technical inspection.
And because of how heavy it is.
Well, yeah, but.
And the last one, Quinn Houff.
John Andretti.
John Andretti.
Okay.
Looks good.
Why does this look good? Like.
Well, it's kind of how they used to do it. Like, I mean, you look at today's NASCAR designs, they get so into it. Like, there's lines everywhere. There's this. Back then, they shaped off a part of the car, painted that section of the car. Oh, hey, let's change the hood cover. Their color. That's it.
This. They even get that for it.
Oh,
I love
so, yeah.
Because realistically, what does that hurt, right? If you give other people, like, it's not like someone's gonna sue you for giving them a. I
mean, Burger King didn't do it for how many years?
Bingo, and they were getting free sponsorship. Like
BK Racing.
Like that's just, I don't know. I just have a.
Yeah. And they even have it on the B pillar. It looks awesome.
Yeah, it just looks cool. They should, and that's John Andretti's logo. That's cool. Or signature, not logo. I'm sorry. All right. Well, we can go back and do our picks, and we'll finish it off here. I'm back.
We're back. My picks. I'm gonna just start out. We have Truck Series. Don't even know.
Since it's 3 of the series, we can just do each series at a time. Because there's only 3 of us, so we don't have to like talk over each other. So like you can start off with trucks, and then Mitch will go, then I go, then we'll do Xfinity that way.
Okay. Yeah. As far as trucks go, I say we just keep it simple. Who we think's going to win? I believe that. Actually, I don't even know who's all in the entry list this weekend.
I didn't look.
Oh, I don't either. Let me know.
I know there's no Cup drivers in Xfinity because it's the Dash for Cash race.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Right. You're right.
let's see here.
When does the triple truck challenge start?
Next week, I believe. It is this one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
So that's
so there's probably gonna be none.
There's none.
I'm just gonna go out and say that Sheldon Creed gets it done this weekend. He's due for something. I think he needs it.
He had a good truck last week.
That whole organization just needs somebody to win right now.
Just needs a solid top 5.
Yeah. Who's going to suck? I think Haley Deegan's going to struggle. It is a tough track to learn how to do. She's been doing really good. She was doing good last week. This is a completely different track. As far as who needs a good run, Matt Crafton needs it. After last week, they started out strong, and they just fell behind after stage 1.
Good.
For me, who's going to struggle? I'm going to go with Deegan as well. I mean, as you said, it's a tough track. They call it too tough to tame for a reason. They don't play games there. I could see her hitting the wall early and probably just riding around at that point.
That wouldn't be a bad thing for her, though, either. I'm not saying.
Right. I mean, making laps is what matters, period. Making laps is experience. But, so who needs a good run? I'm going to go Crafton with you as well. He does. He needs a good run. It's coming crunch time. As we know, the truck series, they don't have a long season. It's short and sweet for them.
I think they have 8 races left.
Something like that. Yeah, 8, 10 or so. So, I mean, they got to get the job done. And points, at this point for Crafton, I don't think points is a thing. He needs a win. This is a good track for him to do it. He's run pretty solidly in the past. He's obviously been a really good mile and a half track driver. I think he needs a good run. As far as who I think is going to win, I'm going to once again double down and say Todd Gilliland. Obviously, he didn't get the job done last week, sadly. But I think he's going to go out there and get it, especially without Bush being in the field. He should be solid. We know the DGR guys, they bring good trucks to the track every week. They're solid. I think he's going to go out there and get it done.
Who I think is going to suck is Austin Hill. He's normally a really good, intermediate driver. But I don't know. I just don't think he's going to do well. Who needs a good run? Zane Smith. I think the whole organization does. Obviously, you just said that, Thomas or Nick. But
either way.
I just think I think Zane really needs it, right? I think his motivation / confidence is completely gone, and so he just generally needs it. Who I think is gonna win is Derek Krause.
He's looking good list. Who?
Derek Krause.
So he was in the lead.
That's a lead. That's a lead.
He was in the lead until the caution came out, and then he stayed out, and then of course Ben Rhodes pitted and then got the win.
Yep.
But that was last year, and that was the first time at Darlington in a long time, right? So, and I think they're probably gonna bring the same exact truck / setups because of that, because they know what they have. I just think he's just gonna really.
Are they running the same time? Or
yeah, it'll be during the daytime as well.
Trucks goes around at 7:30.
Yeah, so they're I thought they were a night race.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm like, because.
I do still agree with everything you said, though.
Yeah, if they were running days and they brought the same setup they had at night, it's not going to be anywhere near where they need it. I mean, for all we know, though, it could be exponentially better too, but
right.
Yeah,
that's not something you want to take a chance on. Hey, this was our night setup. Let's bring it to the daytime. Going into Xfinity Series, who's going to win? I think Noah Gragson gets it done. He is very good at putting it up on that wall with the composite bodies. He's not even going to be afraid to hit it. I think
next gen composite bodies, beautiful.
That's true. As far as who's going to struggle, I believe that that's actually a tough one to pick.
The field.
But if I had to pick somebody, Josh Berry. Josh Berry.
The field.
I mean,
The rest
You're not wrong.
It's a hard track, man. Like
it is.
I don't care if you're on iRacing, friggin' NASCAR, Heat, Evolution. It's still a hard track.
Evolution. Jesus.
Oh God. No, I think Josh Berry's going to struggle. This is a much different track than what he's been used to. He doesn't really have the bottom to run. This is a track you get up and you have to get next to that wall a lot. Who needs a good run, though? I'm going to go with Justin Allgaier. We're just going to stay with Junior Motorsports here. He's been doing good. Yes, he has a win. He is locked in. Needs to keep building that up. Can't just trade off one win for the rest of the season to go down and be pointless. You need to perform week in and week out still.
He's a solid driver there, too.
Mm-hmm.
For me, who I think is going to suck, no surprise, the 98 car. He's going to be terrible. It pains me to say that because I root for Stuart Haas Racing, but he's the worst driver in the field.
We're trying to convert him.
Just imagine if Brandon Brown was in that 98.
Bro, he'd be killing it.
I swear.
He'd be killing it.
Because he runs top 10s in that. And that.
Right. Like, it's mind-blowing.
Even look at Ryan's. Put Ryan Sieg in it.
Absolutely. Any of them guys. Yeah, he's going to hit the wall lap 3. Guarantee it. Lap 3, he's going to hit the wall, cut a tire in his day. I'm telling you, it's going to happen. Mark my words, man.
That's such a Riley Herbst way to race.
Who needs a good run? I'm going to go with Allmendinger. Like you said earlier about Justin Allgaier, yeah, Allmendinger has a win. He's locked in. But you got to keep building that momentum. Keep stacking them points. It's going to push you further along into the chase or playoffs. He needs a good run. And he obviously has a lot of experience there. Probably the most of any driver, I would say.
I'd say him and Justin Allgaier probably have the most experience in the field.
Yeah. Who I think is going to win? Oh, that's tough. I don't even know, man. It's such a tough track. Anyone can show up or not show up. Just easy. I'm gonna go out on a limb and I'm gonna say Jeb Burton. He's gonna get a second win.
That's awesome. Wow.
That is that. You're on a tiny limb there.
Yeah, it's a tiny limb, but I have faith in him. I mean, he's talented. He just hasn't gotten the breaks he's needed and stuff.
Yeah,
but.
So, I'm going to do a little special pick because it's funny that I said Brandon Brown is because he was on my mind. I think he's actually going to perform very well because it's a driver's racetrack and really the intermediate / type of style racing doesn't really transfer over to Darlington. It's all about, the driver, right? And so I think he's going to perform. So that's just that's not one of my picks, but that was just I'm just saying that.
Just a side note, I agree. I could see him in top 10.
Yeah.
All night.
Honestly, top 5. I really could.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, didn't he finish 4th last year?
I can't remember.
I think in stage 2 or something like that. But I think he finished top 10 overall.
He was the bright yellow car. Because there was 2 bright yellow cars. One was the 19 of the one that won. What's his name? The other guy.
Oh, Jones?
Yeah,
Brandon Jones.
And then it was Brandon Brown.
Yeah, he won. Yeah, that's right. You're right.
Who's going to suck? I think Austin Cindric is because he's going to overdrive the race car like he usually does. And because of the way he's been driving in Cup is just going to keep his brain just consistently I need to do better. And so he's going to overpush the car. That's what I just think is going to happen. Who needs a good run? Who needs a good run? I think AJ needs a good run. Ever since that win, he just hasn't been a fast car. He's been around 10th, but nothing better. And
which is kind of shocking when you look at him at the beginning of the season. He's been battling for wins, battling top 5 positions. He's there every time.
Well, it's weird
Right.
how colleague like they get a win and then all of a sudden they just like no like they're nowhere.
Yeah.
Right. And I
For
don't
real.
know. I don't know if like they just focus on getting that one win and then try stuff. That could be it.
It could be, yeah.
I mean, that's what a lot of drivers do nowadays too.
Yeah.
Do enough just to
Right.
give me a top 10 and then test some things. Are you
Right.
pushing the car all the way right now? Yes or no?
You're right. And then my winner pick is Noah Gragson, actually, because it's kind of like Homestead. Not really, but it's a driver's racetrack. Ride the wall type of save your tires type of track. And who's the best at Homestead? It's definitely Noah.
I'm honestly shocked he doesn't have a win yet because there's so many tracks you can run the wall.
Yeah.
I think he could have won Atlanta if he didn't have that damage. Because he was in fifth place.
Yeah, he got himself all the way up to fifth.
Exactly, with a damaged race car that you don't do that maybe 20 years ago.
But just not with the aero stuff that we have now. Which
He should have won Homestead.
So
all three of them that he raced at.
So ironically, like the Cup cars are going to start. The next gen will kind of race like the Xfinity cars now, but just a little bit harder to drive, which is even better. And that kind of fits Noah Gregson's style. So if JRM,
it fits Chase Elliott's style then in a way too, if you think about it.
It really does. It really fits the young guys.
Yep.
And I think we're just going to see more young guys perform better the more and more it gets on. And then going back to my point with Noah, I think if someone doesn't pick him up soon, that team's going to struggle. Like SHR should just say, "Hey, Amarillo, we're kicking you out. Let's get Gregson," because I think that would be a phenomenal combination.
He may be terrible at first, but that would give them 3 young drivers with very good skills.
And Harvick will still be at that race shop after he retires. I'm sorry, but I think he will still help Stewart really help SHR perform. Right?
I think he's going to take over one of the programs. He'll be in charge of either trucks or Xfinity, something like that. He's going to kind of like how Jeff Gordon's in charge.
I could see that, and I think it would be Xfinity. Obviously, he has a ton of experience running an Xfinity team.
And he may still run a couple races because of that. Too.
Right. I could see that absolutely. Going out running 2, maybe 3 races a year to see where the company is going and progressing and so on. That would also help Xfinity, their team build as well, because the most cars we've seen them have is just the 2 at the time.
What did you break? I saw your face, Dylan.
I forgot that I had something open.
But the most cars we've seen them have in Xfinity at one time is just 2 cars at a time, and I feel like they're better than that. They're obviously a top team. I feel like they know that they can be better than that, and if you are right that he hangs around in the office and the garage a little bit and maybe takes over the Xfinity program, I feel like he could build that thing up
and build some
and take it places.
Great.
I do think they need to go to a 2-car operation. I think they should have a part-time car. It's in every week. It's there every week, but it's
back when
put different test out drivers. Cup Series. Who's going to struggle? I feel like Eric Almirola is going to be terrible. That Winn-Dixie paint scheme is, or whatever the paint scheme, I can't remember the sponsor.
Smithfield,
it's going to be, it's going to be 1 for 1, or sorry, 1 for 2. He is going to be. I think he's nowhere near where he needs to be this year.
No, not at all.
That's why I really think Stewart should really start talking to Gregson. I really do.
He should, because where's Gregson going to go right now?
Nowhere, absolutely. And unless JRM makes a Cup team, he's not going anywhere.
Nope. But at the same time, I think Gregson could just stay there too. He's doing really good. As far as who needs a good run, I think Kevin Harvick needs to back up what he did last week. He needs to continue going forward.
I agree.
Who's going to win? I feel it's going to be a battle between Denny Hamlin and Chase Elliott, like it was at the first race or second race last year at Darlington when we came back from COVID. I think Chase Elliott's going to get it done. I think it's going to be a 9-win this weekend.
Sorry.
You don't agree with me?
No, me?
Who, me?
No,
or
Mitch.
him?
Mitch.
I was yawning.
Oh, yeah. He's like, oh, that's terrible picks.
No, so who I think is gonna suck? I mean, yeah, I do think Almirola is gonna suck, but I'm not going with that as my pick. I think.
Well, I picked him because we expect better of him.
No, you're absolutely right, 100%. This whole season for him has been a shit show,
and he has no excuse because of it. And that's the thing. Like they have no excuse.
There's been a couple. I think 2 or 3 races he was caught up and stuff that he could control, but other than that, it was horrible. But even the stuff where he got caught up with, the reason he was back there is because his car was trash or whatever. But
see, I don't know because he didn't have a crew chief change or anything like that. It's same team,
right?
There
is no excuse. But so yeah, who I think is gonna suck? I'm gonna go with Byron. I mean, he's had speed there in the past, and he's done decent. Yeah. But I think he's going to really struggle there. I think he's not going to have a good race at all. Who I think needs a good run, Almirola. No doubt. He needs to absolutely step it up. We're, 11 races in, and I think he has his best finish is like 13th, something like that. And then excluding that, everything is like 29th or worse. That's horrible.
That is not good. You're not going to get
horrible. Horrible.
You're going to get outperformed by Michael McDowell.
Danica Patrick had better stats than that. And that says a lot.
Literally, Chase Briscoe, who doesn't have any practice, and his first Cup car race was Daytona 500 this year, is doing almost 100 points better than you. We have a problem.
That's sad. Yeah. So Almirola he needs a good run, and not only a good run, he needs to absolutely score stage points and good ones, not just finish 10th. He needs to finish 5th or better in the stages. He needs to finish the race in 5th. He needs an outstanding run and turn this year around.
Mm-hmm.
Who I think is going to win? Obviously, you guys know I want Kevin to win. I don't think he's going to win. I think he's going to back up what he did last week. But so anyway, who I think is going to win though? I think it's going to be a Gibbs guy. Can't pinpoint who. Obviously, we know Hamlin is really good there. He has, 3-4 wins there, something like that. He's
something like that, yep.
Damn good at Garlington. I think either Hamlin or maybe Jones is going to get a win there.
Jones?
Or, I'm sorry, Bell. My fault. I was just thinking 20. Sorry. Bell.
I mean, Jones has a win there, too.
He does. But, yeah, I think it's going to be a Gibbs guy between them two, probably.
All right. Who's going to suck? So, it's going to be Brad Keselowski, and here's why. He lost his crew chief for this weekend, and when he did that, he ran terrible at Atlanta. It was his worst race of the year, and ever since then he fell off. And then he finally won Dega, and then he was back where he was.
But it's Dega,
right? And then he's losing his crew chief this race. He started on the pole. I understand that, but he's just gonna drop way to the back. I think he's just gonna suck. He's just gonna not perform at all. Honestly, Penske really never performs here. Now that I think about it.
No.
Who needs a good run? So, this is not... Okay, I think it's going to be who needs a good run and who is going to run well, and it's going to be Austin Dillon, because I think he's going to back up what he did in the last fall, but I think he just generally needs a good run. But I think he will have it, if that makes sense.
It's a good, yeah, I'm following you.
But I just, that's my pick, who needs a good run, but I just think he will. Like, I don't think it's like a...
Right.
And Thomas, we picked the same winners. And I actually do agree. I think it's going to be between Hamlin and Chase. And finally, Chase gets his redemption.
If you look at it if you look at it last year, 2 races, in a position to win, and a Gibbs car
wrecks him,
ruins it.
Yep.
And now, Brandon, go ahead. Granted, you can blame the Truex.
Those were fun.
You can blame the Truex one on Chase himself in a way because he did go to the bottom in 3 and 4.
I mean, yeah,
Truex didn't.
That was
care.
Racing. I mean,
Truex said, "I'm going."
He took it. He took that shit.
But ironically, he races clean to everyone else, right? Like, it's weird how that works. But that's yeah. Oh.
I got bad news for you though. It's not gonna be a Chevy, man. The last Chevy there to win was Kevin.
But who changes that all the time?
Chase is proven to be very good in this no practice format as well. So that's why I went with him. Looked at this track, looked at his stats last year. I believe the first race he finished top 10, decent run, wasn't anything special. Very next day, backed it up with what should have been either a second place finish or a race win. I believe he would have.
Yeah, he would.
Unfortunately, we can't.
No doubt.
Because the rain was coming. Yep. So there's no way for us to really go back.
He had the 4 fresh tires, and he went from 10th to 2nd and literally 11th.
Yeah, he would. Oh, yeah. No doubt.
I agree with you. And then you look at the fall fall race. Awesome car, leading late. And that's one thing I noticed that Chase Elliott does. He's not afraid to, let me make certain he's not baiting. Let me make certain he's not doing this. Let me try this.
Yeah, he's
like it's 30 to go. He should have tested out earlier, but earlier is a different time or temperature of the track. Earlier is different rubber on the track.
Right, and realistically, let's say he does go to the bottom and it is faster, or he gets passed by Truex. He also has 20 more laps to figure out how to get by him. Right?
Exactly.
So if we do that with 10 to go, he passes him with the dirty air of the big spoiler. You're not going to pass him back in 10 laps. I'm sorry. It takes you 10 laps to get that, run to perform, right? And so I think Chase didn't do anything wrong. Obviously, I don't think he should have went to the bottom. But
I understand why he went to the bottom, though. He wanted to make certain.
Yeah.
Because Rex did run that bottom a couple times.
Right. And like, he didn't gain anything, but he was like, well, maybe he was just like letting off, like, right? He knew that there was grip down there.
He's feeling it out. Let me save this.
But to my point, I wouldn't be surprised if it was him and Hamlin again. But I think with the frustration of this year, like trying to get a win, I wouldn't be uncertain if he puts the bumper to Hamlin. If it was
the other way around though as well, though.
I absolutely. Like, I think we could see one of the best Darlington finishes in a long time. And, ironically, it's in the day, so we could one of those...
Ricky Craven, Kurt Busch.
Yeah, it could be beautiful. But...
A repeat of last year's Xfinity race?
Oh, yeah.
That was a good race.
Both of them, really. They were both good.
It was beautiful racing. So, I'm excited.
And if you noticed, Denny Hamlin was in 2 incidents last year at Darlington.
Yeah.
2
rounds. Well, around the Chase Elliott.
I know you.
Yeah. I was gonna say he didn't do the cup one. No, that wasn't really his fault.
No, it wasn't his fault, but he was there.
Yeah,
kind of
leading.
All right. Yeah. Well, it is 12 a.m., guys, so we're gonna end off this podcast.
Okay.
This is an awesome podcast. Honestly, this is probably my favorite one since we've done this. I know it's only episode 4, but just 2 hours is really good. I think it's perfect. But thank you guys for joining in, watching. We had a consistent of 5 viewers tonight. That is wonderful. No one really commented, which is fine, but don't forget, you can always leave comments. We would love to talk to you fans. We very much appreciate it. And just have a good night.
Absolutely. Have a good one.
Have a good night, everybody.